Are you in overwhelm? Do you know what it feels like to be in a state of overwhelm? I think it's really important for us to become familiar with our states. So much so that it's almost like we're able to recognize physiological shifts before they become psychological detriments. Good morning. Welcome to Stress Week. I hope that you're enjoying this. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, wow, this is heavy. It's not heavy, it is intense. And but listen, we need to be able to go deeper in order to uncover and unblock ourselves. So becoming familiar with our physiological states and being able to name them is really the first step to shifting the default state and how we behave habitually. We don't want stress to become our psychology or our personality, like I talked about 2 days ago. So what does overwhelm feel like for you in your body? There's a difference between being overwhelmed and just being excited. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about eustress, EU stress, which is a good stress. We need that in our lives. But for today, I want to talk more about de-stress or overwhelm. I think a lot of people can connect to that word. What does that feel like for you? When you are in overwhelm, what does your body feel like? What's happening in your breath? What's going on with your heart rate? What do your muscles feel like? How does your mind feel in overwhelm? And so you can name overwhelm from many different avenues, from the mind, from emotions, from how you're reacting or dealing interpersonally with people, and from your body. Of course, I always like to start with the body first. But when I talk about overwhelm out there in the world, in the corporate world, I use this phrase called busy me. Busy me. What does busy me feel like? And sometimes busy me is just kind of, running around. It's not a bad thing. A lot of people feel very productive in busy me, but on the more intense end of the spectrum, busy me can feel like overwhelm. And what happens when you get overwhelmed? For me, I kind of go underwater, right? I feel like I'm underwater. Like everything is blurry and foggy and kind of and not sharp or clear. That's how my brain feels, or my mind feels in overwhelm. I feel like I've got way too much in my mind. I'm trying to juggle way too much on my schedule, and I don't see a way out. For me, overwhelm is a physical feeling of tension, muscular tension, shallow breath, probably high heart rate. I feel fixed. I feel like I'm almost in a straitjacket. I can't move. So these are some of the ways that I can identify overwhelm in my life. And identifying it is the first step to changing it. So once we identify a state, good or bad, we can then make a decision. What do I need to do in this moment to shift out of this state? Because it's not who you are. It's just a momentary pattern of behavior. The only issue with the pattern of behavior in the moment is that if you do it again, right? If you keep rethinking about that situation, remember we reactivate the stress response. And if we do that over and over again, the pattern becomes a habit and the habit becomes part of our personality. But we can identify in the moment, this is overwhelm. Yep. CB, that's what I call myself a lot of times, CB. Yep, CB, this is overwhelm. Okay, I've named it. Now let's see what I can do with it. Do I need to take a break? Mini wins, right? I talk about mini wins, these small, on-the-spot state shifters that move us from one state to another, and it starts in the body. If you find yourself in overwhelm, a couple of key things to do is to pause whatever you're doing, take a break. Get some silence and stillness if that's helpful. Not always helpful for people, especially if you're going into panic. You might need to move vigorously. You may need to put on some music, change your clothes, light a candle. Like literally these things change our neurological state. So, identifying overwhelm is one of the key aspects of being able to shift our states. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what overwhelm feels like for you. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about eustress. Eustress. It's a great topic. I cannot wait until then. Thank you so much for joining in. And please take a look at the show notes. I'm going to throw some past episodes in there you may want to listen to. Take care.